Hello,
Hi.
this is Melvin and Michelle on a hike up in Tennessee that we just went to, what's the name of it? Blowing Wind Falls. And we've just had a wonderful experience at the waterfall. Just gorgeous. If anybody ever wants to go, they should go. But anyway, just wanted to tell you about this weekend and I'm having to look down a lot because of the trail. It's real narrow and it's like a sheer cliff going down the left side here and straight up the other side. So anyway, we're started out on Friday morning and just reading our devotionals and letting God lead us like we normally do. We felt like God was telling us to go somewhere, and all morning, and it wasn't until later that afternoon, wasn't it? Probably 2 or 3 o'clock, where I just felt like that God was saying, go to the mountain.
Everything we read that morning and that day was go to the mountain.
Yeah.
Everything that God led us to said go to the mountain.
Every verse.
We didn't know which mountain that He wanted us to go to either.
No, definitely not. And that's so intriguing and just cool that we were not purposely just deciding. We were letting God lead us.
But like you said earlier, it wasn't the typical go to the mountain and pray, which is at our cabin farm. That wasn't the typical.
Which is Mark 6:46.
6:46, yes, sorry.
Or Psalms 99:9.
Yep.
Which are both the same thing. So anyway, we come up to Tennessee around the Chattanooga area Friday night and stay in a hotel because we're just not able to get started and just didn't know where God wanted us to go until later in the day. So I don't think we got started on our trip up here until probably almost 6:30, something like that.
Yeah, it was late.
So anyway, when we get started, we make it to what is it? Is it Kimball?
Kimball.
Kimball?
Yes.
Tennessee. Sorry, we're having it's like stairs going down this trail. It's like a 649 foot elevation gain from the start of the trail to you get to the waterfall.
Definitely worth it though.
Oh yeah, the last 2/10 of a mile is pretty straight up. Maybe a little bit more than 2/10 of a mile, but anyway, we stay in Kimball Friday night.
As we found out, that's pretty much the only place we can stay anyways because of the music festival going on that we were unaware of.
We had no idea that was going on. So we are just letting God lead us. So we had to get a couple of more camping supplies. So we went to Walmart and got those. And after we had done that, we decided to go to, I think it's Cumberland State Park.
We went to Foster Falls.
We were going to go to Foster Falls because the guy that had helped us, we're big coffee drinkers, so we got to have coffee in the morning. Or we're just not real good people after that.
So, it makes sense. and everything.
Yeah, headaches and everything. So we decide to get something there that the guy that helped us find, and after doing that, we asked him. It was like a hiking store there in the downtown Chattanooga area. I'm sorry, I'm having to navigate this trail because it's just so steep right here. So bear with me as I'm making this recording. But anyway, we go to the Cumberland State Park that has Foster Falls, and we get there, and it says you have to have a reservation to be able to camp, even backpack camping, which is in a tent in the back country.
Yeah.
And we call to see if they have anything available, and they do not because of the
concert, the festival.
Because of the concert. That's what, probably 20 miles from where we were.
Somewhere that next town or so.
So we end up not getting to stay there, but we were able to see the waterfall there. Foster Falls is really pretty too. So it's not too far from where we are now. But what, about 30 minutes?
Yeah,
something like
that.
about 30 minutes from here.
Yeah.
So anyway, we decide to just head out, and not really knowing where we're going to go, and we end up at this state park. It's called what?
Prentice Cooper Forest.
Prentice Cooper.
Forest.
Prentice Cooper.
Wildlife Management, something like that.
So, as I said, we knew that God was saying go to the mountain. Well, the first place that we went to, based on the recommendation of this guy that had helped us, was not on the mountain. Sorry, I had to get something out of the way. It was not on the mountain. But we decided to come to this state park because it was the other one that he told us that would be a good one to go to.
With camping and
with camping and all of that.
Yeah.
So we decided to come to this one. Well, we didn't realize that this state park is basically on top of a mountain. And it's primarily on top of a mountain, even though we're on the side of it. Today, we stayed at the campgrounds that was inside the state park, that you actually, at dusk, they lock you in and you can't get out till daybreak. They lock the gates to this place, or the main road that they're going in. So we stayed at Davis Pond, which is a little bitty pond there, and probably has 7 or 8 campsites, something like that. So we get there, and the place that we pick out has a trailhead right there. 15 feet from where we put our tent up.
Yep.
And looking at the All Trails app that's on the phone, we see that it's called Ritchie Hollow, which is the trail that we're on right now. We're just on the other end of it from where we would have been going, starting from, if we started from where we camped last night. But we because of the I was just not sure where we were going to go hike today, because we got into the campground and got set up, and it was probably, 6 o'clock or so by the time we got set up, and according to the rules of the park, you have to be in your campsite by dark. So we didn't want to start hiking somewhere and not be able to make it back to the campsite. So we just took our time and rested and met a guy named Tim and his wife. Her name is Alicia. Alicia or Alicia.
He was talking about, or if that was his last name, I couldn't remember.
And they were with another couple named Juan and Kelly. So, but before we turned in there, we went past the little road to where this campground was, because it really didn't tell you where the campground was. So it's kind of unmarked territory, but shortly after that, I figured out that I didn't really need to go that way that I was going, so I backed up 30 yards or so and went back into the campground. And when we went in there, we met Tim and the 3 others that were with him, and it was kind of interesting because he was like going, I'm glad you turned around, because we went that way yesterday in our Jeep and 4-wheel drive truck, and that car wouldn't have made it, so you made a wise choice. So we're just kind of laughing about that. But anyway, as I was looking at the trailhead, I wanted to look up and see how long that trail was. And it was like over 8 miles?
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah. And the elevation of the trail was 1,476. And I'm going, that's weird, because 476 is the page number to my Bible, that the only verse that I have marked on that page is 1 Chronicles 16:24, that says, publish all of the glorious deeds among the nations and let everybody know about the wonderful things he's done for you. And I was like, okay, so we're on a mountain, and whenever God directs us to go somewhere, it's always to meet someone to talk to about him. Am I right, babe?
Absolutely.
It's just crazy. I don't know why he does that, but he's doing it like all the time. It may be at a restaurant or on a hiking trail or whatever. But nevertheless, we were getting our gear out and setting our tent up and all of that. And a truck pulls up behind, 20 minutes after we had gotten there?
Yeah.
Something like that. And he's from Tennessee, and his tag number, and if you know anything about Tennessee tags, you rarely see 3 numbers that are consecutive. It's usually a number, a letter, a number, and a letter, or vice versa. It's almost never 3 numbers, like 3 digits right back to back to back. But this truck had 3 digits back to back to back. And when I saw what number it was, which was 963, I knew immediately that was not an accident. Because 963 is Psalms 96:3, and that is the exact same verse that 1 Chronicles 16:24 is.
All of his glorious deeds, tell every one of the wondrous things he does.
Absolutely. So I knew we had reached the mountain that God wanted us to go to, and someone on that campsite that was already there or was coming was going to be who we were going to be talking to. But I still didn't know who. But it wasn't long after that. It was pretty obvious that God had guided us to Tim and the group that he was with. And we just had casual conversation with him. And
Him about the wood and letting us borrow the firewood.
Oh, yeah,
and his saw and
he let us borrow his saw.
Needed.
He was just real friendly and just allowed us to borrow his saw and axe and all of that to get wood and all of that kind of stuff for our fire, because they had plenty and so forth.
Super nice.
So super nice people, just absolutely wonderful kind of people that you like to meet when you are backpacking or wherever. It really doesn't matter where. What you looking at, babe?
Sorry, stop to look at a bug over bed.
Okay.
A big black one.
Yeah. So anyway, it just became obvious that God was directing us to be able to talk to them. And just after our conversation started, and after we had talked to Tim, we probably talked to him an hour and a half in that group, but mainly Tim.
Yeah, I believe it was for him.
I think it was for him
we were led to.
That we were led to talk to him, just because some things that was going on in his life and his family's life and so forth. Hold on, I got somebody coming on the trail. Okay, sorry, we passed somebody on the trail that we had to stop and talk to for a second. So where was I?
Talk to Tim, personal life.
Yeah, we were talking to Tim about some things that were going on in his personal life. And, after we had talked,
Which it wasn't until the very end until we realized the similarities between his life and my own.
Right. And when we started sharing some of those things, he started opening up more about what was going on. But nothing that was invasive or anything like that. He just said got similar things going on. But after we had parted ways for the evening and went back to our campsite, I walked back over there and he was just like, I appreciate you sharing with us and so forth. And I say all of that for this reason. Friday we set out on a journey like we've done several times before.
Our adventure.
We call them adventures now. It happens so often.
Our adventure.
Well, and in fact, the somebody that we passed on the trail at the first waterfall, that Foster's Fall, that we didn't stay at, they were like, sorry, you can't stay here. And we were like, Michelle said,
that ain't no big deal. It's an adventure.
Yeah, exactly.
We're good.
So, and we still at that time didn't know where we were going to go. But anyway, my whole point of making this video is this. You know, when God chose Abraham to be the father of many nations, and his descendants would be as numerous as the stars, he told him to go without knowing where to go. He said, I'll tell you later. You know, and that's what Michelle and I find ourselves in that situation so many times. You know, that God tells us and God directs us through these numbers and says, hey, you're gonna talk to somebody on my behalf, and we never know what the conversation is going to be about or why. We never know where we're going. You know,
and just like when we get to the Foster Falls, we get see a number that says, nope, this isn't it. So we knew.
Yeah, and I forgot to add this. I saw a 919, which is Numbers 919, that says, as long as the cloud stayed over Israel, they didn't set out. They continued doing the same thing they were doing.
And we weren't supposed to.
So, you know, God was already telling us before we even go to Foster Falls, that ain't where I want you to go. But we didn't realize that until it was after we got there and there wasn't any place to stay. You know, so in this walk with God, going day by day and second by second, minute by minute, you know, you may get an indication that we're supposed to do something, but never know when and where and all of that stuff that goes along with it. You know, just like this weekend. We had no idea where we were going, but we knew we were going to a mountain. It just wasn't sure where. Let me help my wife down here. So, when we are directed like that, we just set out in the direction that we feel like God has told us to go, just like Abraham did. You know, and when that happens, we are allowing God to lead us. And, you know, it comes down to faith and obedience. This walk that we have, you know, we're walking on a trail right now, but we have this walk of faith that is so uncanny that we don't know how to take it sometimes, because it's so bizarre and so strange to us.
Well, another thing is we were actually planning to do like camping like in a back country kind of trail. That was our planning. So
with nobody around us,
we prepared for that. Being, you know, we got the equipment that we needed, the backpacks that were needed, the filtration system that we were going to need. I mean, we're sure we're going to need it eventually anyways, but still, we had prepared for all of this.
And we prepared during the week.
Yes.
We knew we were going to go camping. We just didn't know where.
Didn't know where, but what we had in our minds, because we felt like God was leading us to, you know, to go somewhere, to go camping. But then we didn't end up using half of the things that we've got. But at the same time, if we'd only halfway prepared, how is that being obedient, you know, to what he's saying?
Sure.
You know, he's telling us to prepare, you know, and then he'll lead the way. No matter what you need, you might need half the equipment, you might not.
Well, and where we were thinking that we were going to go was like an hour from our house.
Right.
And
where we were last weekend.
And because there was a big chance of rain, we didn't feel like that was where we needed to go.
But then again, that wasn't the mountain as well.
And that led us to seeing the devotionals and Bible verses that said, go to the mountain, go to the mountain, go to the mountain. And it's like,
that place we were at last week was not a mountain.
No, the Bankhead National Forest that's right there an hour from the house is not mountainous at all.
Yep.
You know, it's a little bit. It's got some rocks, but we're only talking 100 feet tall. You know, this one that we just climbed right here is over 1,000 feet.
Yep.
You know, so it's a big difference. So, you know, just after everything has happened, you can see how Father has just led us to meet the people that we were supposed to meet and have the conversations. But, you know, it again comes down to the faith and the obedience to listening to what he says through the Bible. I mean, these are Bible verses, some devotionals, where I had written in my devotional last year on the same day, on Friday the 16th, go to the mountain. You know, 2 of the verses. One of them was Deuteronomy 1:7, and the other one was Joshua 1:7. And the page number of that devotional for Friday was 107. How weird is that? And the devotional for my streams was Exodus, what, 13?
14, 15.
14, 15.
Yep.
That
That's right after one of my favorite verses.
That said go. You know? So it's just really cool how when you become so what's the word, sweetheart? I don't want to. Yeah, that was a word I was going to use, in tune with God's speaking voice to you personally, whether it be numbers or whatever it is. It don't really matter what it is.
Well,
Whatever.
A funny side note about, you know, the being obedient and everything as well, is that we had the conversation. I believe it was from Foster Falls to. Sorry, that's a little bit much.
We're gonna rest a second while we're talking.
So, from Foster Falls, we had the conversation of, you know, what we do now is, you know, when God says go, we go.
Yeah, without knowing where to go.
And that wasn't, like we discussed, how my life typically was. I was a planner.
Oh yeah, that was on the way from Foster Falls to here.
To Davis Pond.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And we were talking about, you know, how I had always had everything planned out. And it drove me absolutely insane that this one didn't plan anything when we started dating. Or when we got married. Or anything else for that matter.
But that's how God has started leading my life.
But even before, it's just he wasn't a planner. I was. I'm the one that would lay everything out. You know, we have to take us this long to get here, and we would have to have this, and this. And then, so that was my thing. You know, when you have kids, it's what you have to do. You have to plan. You have to make sure you got everything. You know, get all. I know that, but you get ducks in a row. But you're a man. I'm a woman. Anyway. But at the same time, I was a planner. I had everything planned out. Yep. So now, being married to this man right here, it has been an adjustment, to say the least. It's an
adjustment for me too.
But in a good way, because I'm willing to listen to God's leading. And if I'm not willing, we can't do this. We can't go witness, because that would be us being disobedient if we didn't listen and just go.
Right.
You know, no matter what. But, you know, it is different, but it's a good different.
Absolutely.
So.
Great point, sweetie.
That was a nice break, too. Okay, continue on.
Sometimes we just need these breaks. when you're doing some hiking like this. That's a cool mushroom, by the way. See that mushroom right there?
Know what them things are?
Yeah. I don't know what. I don't know what kind it is, but it's cool looking.
Well, I'm not hungry right now.
Yeah. Not sure you can eat those either anyway. But anyway, I just wanted to make this video and share of how our life resembles so many stories in the Bible, but on this particular trip, it's resembled Abraham's in a kind of a unique way of not knowing where to go, and God leading us to who He wanted us to talk to, you know. And the weekend's not over. It may be something or somebody else, you know,
We never know.
that He's wanting us to talk to as well. Because as we started our trip back away from the falls, I've already seen another 476, so it appears that we'll be maybe speaking to someone else. Who knows if that's the case, but that's
Or if there's a video, is it?
or it's this video
We don't
or
know.
what, you just don't ever know. So just kind of I don't know, it's awesome, isn't it, sweetie?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely awesome to experience and live your life on a daily basis where you don't make any real plans ahead of time.
Not anymore.
No. It's just gotten to the point where it's pointless, because He will stop it in a heartbeat a lot of times whenever we want to do something. He'll say, nope, don't go that way, go this other way, and point us to the mountain or whatever it is, you know. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with everybody. So all right, that's all.